Today, I want to talk about something that right now I think is key, not just in the crypto market, but in the broader context as well. Because we're at a point where, in my opinion, a lot of people aren't really seeing what's actually going on. Everything might look calm on the surface, but the reality is quite different. In fact, the calmer things seem, the more interesting this moment becomes. These kinds of phases are usually the ones that come right before a major move. Before anything else, it's important to point out that we're still in a kind of war. And I don't mean that in a dramatic way. I mean it as a reality that's there, even if the market seems to be completely ignoring it. Because, for example, if you look at the S&P 500, you see indices near all-time highs, and it's easy to think, well, nothing's really happening, everything's under control. But that's exactly where the problem starts. The market right now is strong, but it's also somewhat complacent. And when the market becomes complacent, that's when you need to be the most careful. Historically, the biggest shocks don't come when everyone is afraid. They come when no one expects them. And right now, there's this feeling that everything is under control, which can actually be quite dangerous. It doesn't matter how good the narrative is or what the news says. If there's no money coming in, the price won't move. It's that simple. And what we're seeing right now is a fairly clean market. No excessive noise, no extreme euphoria. You don't see everyone talking about getting rich overnight. You don't see that typical top behavior. And that's important because tops usually come with euphoria while bottoms come with doubt. And right now, we're closer to doubt than to euphoria. On top of that, there's another key factor, psychology. And that's important because historically, the biggest moves start when almost no one believes in them or expects them. When the market feels boring, when it feels like nothing is happening, or even when it feels slightly risky. That's usually when accumulation is taking place, not when everyone is convinced. Now, if we look at Bitcoin, this is where things start to line up. For me, there's a very clear level. Something I've mentioned in previous videos, the 74,000 zone. Prices reacted strongly there multiple times, and every attempt to drop below it has been rejected. And that's key because when a level gets defended that many times, it's no longer a coincidence. It's no longer a coincidence, it usually means there's strong buying interest, serious money defending that zone. We zoom out, we can see a very clear structure, strong accumulation around $60,000 then, a range between roughly $60,000 and $69,000 where price spent a lot of time, and now $74,000 where price spent a lot of time, and now $74,000 to potentially becoming support. Now, something that's key for me, and you already know this, is volume. A lot of people only look at price, but volume tells you what's happening underneath. That's why price often looks weak right before it moves up. And I want to pause here for a second because this is important. A lot of people are obsessed with shorting trying to catch the perfect drop. But the reality is that rarely works consistently. Right now we have negative funding. A lot of people short and price holding steady or even moving up. Because when you combine prepared liquidity, people still out of the market, short pressure, and ongoing accumulation, what you get is a compressed market, like a spring. And when that spring releases, it doesn't move slowly, it moves hard. And this brings us back to the beginning. Yes, macro conditions are supportive, but we're still in an unstable geopolitical environment. And the market is acting as if that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean an immediate drop, but it does mean the risk is there and it's not being fully priced in. So if there's one thing that matters right now, it's this: the winner isn't the one who's most right, the winner is the one who's most right, the winner is the one who macro conditions are supportive. Because you can have the right direction, but if your entry is bad, or if you let emotions take over, the market will eventually take you out. And that's it for today's video and analysis. We're in a calm market, but not because it's dead, far from it. It may just be preparing for something bigger. And these are the moments that matter most, because almost no one understands them in real time.